What up, squad? What's poppin'? Is you ready for another reaction video? All right, so peep it up. This next video is coming up to you from the Bill. Go check them out. The description will be in the link below. That being said, TDE is sending out warning shots. Uh-oh. We got beef going on. Something going on. Something cooking up, man. Absol just dropped. Akademiks going crazy. The internet is on fire. It's on fire. It's getting hot in here. It's on fire. That being said, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to comment, subscribe, thumbs up. Slap that red button. Man, I'm loving this, man. I'm loving the back and forth, the pitter-pat, the pettiness.
Yes, you do.
Patty cake. Let's get it.
Let go.
See what the Ville talking about.
This should be good.
Yeah, man.
I feel like something is going to happen, though. I feel like something is leading up to something at this point. You see, TDE, they've actually been making some moves. You know, they made a couple moves as of a few days, as of today, actually. You know, not even 24 hours ago, Absol just released a song. Everybody's been reacting to it for the past 6 or 8 hours at this point in time. So, you know, what's crazy is that now moving forward, it looks like.
You know what's funny? That the Ville says that, just to touch on the subject. Me and Bree were just saying earlier when Absol dropped, we're like, okay, we know K-Dot's is coming up with a response, or they're keeping this thing going. Something's gonna happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we know Kendrick's a hip hop head. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? He's the boogeyman, so he's going to respond. We know it. He don't care where you're at. I mean, especially the internet being on fire from this whole entire battle.
Yep.
You know he's noticing. He just can't get to a studio right now unless he has a traveling studio. But if he did, he would have already responded. But I'm pretty sure when he gets off this tour or when he gets a break, I know he's going to respond because Kendrick is that hip hop.
Yes.
And, you know, him and Joey being cool before, giving each other props, he's going to pay that respect and that homage, and he's going to be like, all right, you want the smoke? You getting the smoke, Shane? You getting the smoke, Shane? All right. I'm done ranting.
This is just one thing that people are talking about in regards to TDE. You know, Absol had said some lyrics, some very choice lyrics in that song that he had released on Instagram. I don't even think it's titled at all, but it's the thing that he says here that I wanted to get people's attention. So we could take a look here. We could take a look at the lyrics that Absol had brought here. He talks about Black Hippie. He mentions Black Hippie.
What the title is.
The Bodega and Chuck Taylors might make Dre drop Detox and reunite Black Hippie. And he's saying, and this is a flex in a way, he's saying that he could bring back Black Hippie if he really wanted to. And it all goes to the saying, you know, that Absol is the secret weapon. That's why DJ Head calls him the boogeyman. Soul's the boogeyman. Yes, he is. He is the secret weapon. And I'm telling you right now, bro, I think that he could probably be the person that is hinting towards something that could be coming up very, very soon.
Okay, so that's interesting. So if he's doing that, right? And Absol, Joey, they all were close at one point. They were all cool. Yes. They all gave each other props. Do you guys think that this is something that might be leading up to a branch, or just it's a rollout of something of some sort? Because tell me that wouldn't be genius. No, I know you said that, so I'm bringing it back up. So just, I mean, because we always have new viewers. You know what I'm saying? Let's fill them in.
That's true.
Let's fill them in. I'm wondering if this is just a smart strategic marketing plan. I am really wondering. Seriously, if you really think about it.
Put all the pieces together. Like,
it would be a genius business move.
I mean, especially because, like, with the whole Absol thing, it wasn't a diss.
And he's the guy in between.
Exactly.
That's on both sides.
Yeah, so he's like, calm down, y'all. Like, this is not even what it was supposed to be about.
Yep.
You know, that's why he was telling time out to all you West Coast artists.
Yeah.
Doing what y'all did.
And then he got on the East Coast artists as well. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Yes. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this might be a power move. And if it is,
he wants to slap Akademiks, not because of anything except for you've been trying to ignite violence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing.
So let's see what he got to say. But I'm just saying that would be a crazy power play. That'd be, I mean, for a rollout. Because think about it. You got these guys that weren't really getting any shine at one point. And now I mean, they lit the internet on fire. This everybody does not keep their eyes off of this beef. Like it's like the beef we never knew we needed. It's the battle we never knew we needed. So I mean, the fact that they did this, and then I just feel like it seems like it would be a smart strategic marketing move. This is something that 50 would do, and if 50's involved in Joey's career,
we put that together.
And TDE's got that same type of mentality, that strong business mindset. You never know what we can get out of this. We can get a lot of good music.
Man.
I mean, think about it. And imagine you having a TDE East or TD East, whatever, that type of boot camp up here in New York. I mean, bro, hip hop is, it's going to go crazy. It's going to go crazy. Mumble rappers are going to be out of a job. You're going to see them bagging your groceries. You want those guys really bagging your groceries? Or they're going to be falling asleep over there, bagging your shit up, nodding off.
They're going to be putting the cans on top of the bread.
They're going to be, you don't want them out there. They're going to be doing DoorDash.
Oh, no.
Food going to be halfway eaten. Yeah. Let's get back to it.
Is the secret weapon. And I'm telling you right now, bro, I think that he could probably be the person that is hinting towards something that could be coming up very, very soon. I don't know what to make of it, but TDE is definitely making moves. And this whole song in general was a warning shot. And I feel like they're doing something strategically. And I think they're doing it in almost a troll-like sense, but also in a serious note as well. You see, because as Ab-Soul is dropping this song, talking about how Black Hippie, he could reunite them if he really wanted to, which is crazy to say in a mid-diss, by the way, but also moving forward as well. Even talking about the Akademiks line, when he talks about Akademiks here, he disses Akademiks in the song. And to be honest, it doesn't rhyme with anything. He just ends it like, but Ab-Soul is smart. He knows if he says Akademiks' name, it's going to provoke him. Another thing that I wanted to point out besides this was that TDE had actually dropped new merch. It looks like Doechii has some clothes for sale. She's selling clothes. She's actually selling a thong. She's selling a thong online. For the people, man. TDE website for the ladies. If you're interested, go ahead and tap in. But Doechii, you can see the title of what she's selling. She says it's a thong. And then it says here, designed, made in Los Angeles, California, made in the USA, medium coverage, mid-rise fit. We do not sell triple XL for this item. Sorry, Akademiks. Orders should be shipped within 14 days. So apparently,
that is
you're telling me you're rolling Akademiks secret. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'll tell you right now, he definitely need a bra, man. Get one in his size, because he need a bra.
Hey.
Them nipples is just going like this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he losing weight, though.
Yes.
Shout out to you for losing weight, but I ain't going to lie. You're going to have some sago, you know what I mean? You're going to have some saddlebags, bro.
Gym.
Coverage, mid-rise fit. We do not sell triple XL for this item. Sorry, Akademiks. Orders will be shipped within 14 days. So apparently now,
that's
not
diabolical.
Only is a TDE member, Black Hippie member, dissing Akademiks in the track, we have TDE, the website, the official website, actually, with a description of the clothing that they're selling, saying that they don't sell thongs in Akademiks size. Now, the first time that I had saw this, I thought that it was only because Ab-Soul had dissed Akademiks on his recent track. He had posted it on Instagram. And let me remind you, though, this song doesn't even have a name. This song was just posted on Instagram. It does not have a name at all. But one of the most provoking lines was when he called out Akademiks. Now that you go to the TDE website, it looks like they're dissing Akademiks in the description for one of their clothing items. I'm starting to think that TDE is cooking something up, bro. And I think that they're provoking the media and they're provoking the industry with what they're saying, the verses that they're putting out, what Ab-Soul had just put out, the clothing line, the description in it. And they're doing it specifically to Akademiks for that reason. So it would make sense if TDE were to troll Akademiks right before they're about to put something out.
That is crazy.
Now, could you call this a rollout? Potentially. But you know what's funny is that it's something that's a double-edged sword for Akademiks. At least I think so, in my opinion. Keep it alleged. He didn't even want to mention the battle. The main reason why I think he didn't want to talk about the battle between Rayvon, Joey and Daylight was because he didn't want to give anybody TDE no shine. He didn't want to give them any media attention. Once the battle kind of settled, he had stepped in and he tried to act like Joey was the winner, even though he never gave his input or he never gave.
And that's what's bugged out too. That's where, like I said, I don't always disagree with academics. Watch him. I love his crash outs. I think it's funny to, just watch him go crazy. But he's supposed to be a hip hop channel. He's supposed to cover hip hop. I get it. He's covering the Diddy trial and stuff like that. But it's like you would have thought he would have covered this battle because this is hip hop. You know what I mean? It's hip hop at the end of the day. And you remember back in the days like where you only could get hip hop through underground sources.
Yeah.
So for the fact that we're leaving like, a battle that rose to this magnitude out of the conversation, that is kind of convenient. You know what I'm saying? That he waits until the end. And then on top of it, none of the tracks were copywritten. Some goof messing it up for everybody kept trying to copyright the videos, but we ended up settling that. There was some goof out there faking, and then he was trying to copyright everybody's video, messing it up for everybody. You know what I'm saying? All the reactors and stuff, we had to go and dispute them. But that's neither here or there. My point is, it's very convenient that he didn't cover that there was no coverage on this, because usually he doesn't cover music on YouTube because of the copyrights, but none of these things were copyright claimed. All the copyright claims were false. There was some greedy ass, you know what I'm saying, rogue whoever, doing it, acting like he was a music company. But, so anybody that is watching, that is a reactor, that did get a claim, dispute it. They'll give you the money.
Yep.
You'll get your money for it because
well,
nobody copyrighted it.
On.
Nobody, but you have to dispute it. Yeah, everything you dispute on. But anyways, you have to dispute it. So if you are a reactor and you are watching, make sure you dispute that because those are false claims. Nobody claimed it unless it was, Ab-Souls did. That's the one thing. Ab-Souls did get copyrighted because he used what? Luther Vandross?
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye. He used Marvin Gaye. But for some reason, the other ones weren't copywritten. Even though they used the Hit 'em Up beat and all of that, none of them were copywritten. So everything got cleared. But the Ab-Soul one, yeah, it was copywritten by Marvin Gaye. But let's get back to it.
He didn't want to give them any media attention. Once the battle kind of settled, he had stepped in and he tried to act like Joey was the winner, even though he never gave his input or he never gave his input on any of the songs that had came out. Really just riding the coattail of what Joey was doing without any knowledge of the beef. Even if he had knowledge, he never even talked about it publicly for him to give a proper opinion. Now it just looks like he's compromised. It looks like somebody who's just siding with him because he's beefing with TDE, Kendrick Lamar, and all that. But moving forward, I think that Akademiks definitely is somebody that TDE is trolling at this time. And I feel like it could be because they're cooking something up. I feel like they wouldn't do this just because, or maybe they will. Who knows? We'll keep it alleged. Ab-Soul had just dropped that track. And now we have Doechii with the clothing line and TDE, TDE, Ab-Soul, they all go hand in hand. Now they're doing this on their merch. They're doing this description with their merch. It just feels like they're going against the media, which is Akademiks. So that way he could cover it. And he doesn't want to cover it because he doesn't want to give them attention. The same way he didn't want to cover the battle because he didn't want to give anybody from TDE the attention until it was convenient for him to kind of like shit on whoever he wanted to. But nonetheless, I feel like he's going to cover this and that's what they want. I feel like TDE wants Akademiks to crash out on them. I feel like they want him to do a 48-hour stream just crashing out on them, going crazy. Ab-Soul wouldn't do that out of nowhere. It seems like it's out of left field, but realistically, I don't think that it is. I think that it's all meant for something in a bigger picture, right? No pun intended. Shout out Jeremy Heck and DJ Head and Elliot Wilson. This Joey. One line alone got everybody reacting to the song, has all the blogs posting it. Everybody's talking about this back and forth with Akademiks and Ab-Soul. Doechii and TDE are trolling on the merchandise website. Ab-Soul is mentioning Black Hippie, talking about how he could bring them out, almost as if there's something coming, almost as if there's something coming soon. So there could be a chance that I'm saying, I don't know what TDE is going to do next, but I feel like they're doing all of these things currently for something to happen in the future. Now, could it be a Black Hippie song release? I feel like it could be, because why else would Absol talk about that? He had mentioned Black Hippie, but why would they mention Akademiks the way that they did on the merch website? And I think once he reacts, they're going to probably take action. It's just not likely for Absol just to take shots like that out of nowhere. I mean, it's one thing for rappers, yeah, but Akademiks, probably when he talked about the beef, maybe you could say that Absol had probably provoked Akademiks so that way he could finally talk about the beef. That's another angle that I've been hearing people talk about. Absol provoked Akademiks so that way he could finally mention the beef. But we'll keep it alleged. We don't know. All I know is that TDE out here trolling, Absol calling everybody out, including Akademiks. I feel like it's because they got something cooking up in the back, bro. And I think we might get it sometime soon. I feel like that's what we're going to get in the near future. I don't know how or I don't know what, but I do think that they are cooking up something. And I do think that it is because of this Absol situation and this thing with the Dochi and the clothing line. Let's just put it like that, right? But y'all tell me how you feel about this and get back to me, man.
All right, so
Man.
yeah, all right. So I don't think it's gonna be anything where, okay, so if you really think about it, Akademiks might crash out, but he's not gonna talk about the beef. And if he does, he's gonna talk about it. He's not gonna cover it in a way.
Well, he kind of already did cover it. He's just like Joey won.
What I'm saying is that's the way he's gonna cover it. He's not gonna cover it to an extent where he's gonna be all into it and giving it clout. He's just gonna crash out.
That's why I don't feel like it's for that reason.
I don't
feel
think
like
so either.
It is definitely a rollout, and why not get Akademiks to talk about it for free promo?
Yes, I think it's going to be a rollout, and I really do believe that, you know, Akademiks are going to be disappointed when he realizes that this is more of a friendly fade anyway. I don't believe that this is like, you know, I don't think that there's anything real going on here. I think like there's things going on behind the scenes that a lot of us don't know about. I'm being serious. I mean, because, you know, you got Joey that was trolling with the TD East, and he actually really did, you know what I'm saying? He went and got, what is that? He got an LLC for it and everything. You know, now don't get me wrong, Top wasn't on it, but you know what I'm saying? The actual TDE, they weren't on it. It was just Joey's lawyer. But at the end of the day, that would be an interesting power play if these two were to do this. I mean, think about it. We all know how much coverage the West and East Coast rivalry got. Imagine you do that with no bloodshed, but this time you do it for another motive, because that was done for money, but there was real beef behind it. Now, this time you got people that there's a middle guy that's in between that knows both sides, cool with both sides. It would just make such intelligent business sense.
Yeah.
I think it would make the best, interesting year. I think 2025, I mean, and beyond will be just insane. I think there would be a smart move. I would love that move. I really would. I wouldn't be mad at it. I would not be mad at it. That being said, you let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think that's hilarious, diabolical, all of that stuff. Said we do it. It doesn't come in academic size, XXL. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to comment, scrap thumbs up, slap that red button.